8 facts about the SpaceX rocket launch that sent 2 NASA astronauts to outer space. A SpaceX rocket carrying 2 veteran NASA astronauts was heading to the International Space Station, ISS, on Saturday on the first crewed flight by a private company, ushering in a new era in space travel. SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket carrying NASA astronauts Robert Behnken and Douglas Hurley flew perfectly, spewing a cloud of bright orange flames and smoke from Florida's Kennedy Space Center for the 19-hour journey to the orbiting space station. Here are 8 SpaceX, NASA launch mission facts. 1. NASA collaboration with private companies. NASA has been planning to hand over crew transportation to the International Space Station, ISS, since the early 2000s. After the Space Shuttle Columbia was damaged on its return to Earth in 2003, the space agency focused on developing a replacement spacecraft that could travel to the Moon. Involving private companies in the transfer of crew and cargo to the ISS was a necessary step to afford the program. In 2014, the company SpaceX and aerospace giant Boeing were announced as the winners of NASA's contract for crew transportation services. SpaceX launched the first-ever manned spacecraft, the Crew Dragon spacecraft that took off atop a Falcon 9 rocket from Florida's Kennedy Space Center. 2. SpaceX at a glance. SpaceX is an American company that provides commercial and government launch services on its Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy rockets. Entrepreneur Elon Musk founded the company in 2002 with the goal of reducing space transportation costs and enabling the colonization of Mars. SpaceX was the first private company to routinely return rocket stages to Earth under thrusters so that they could be reflown rather than discarded. It has made regular cargo flights to the ISS and will now aim to start launching astronauts. Musk's company is also developing a larger spacecraft to carry humans, called Starship, which could begin the process of settling Mars. 3. Elon Musk. No conversation about SpaceX would be complete without mentioning Elon Musk. Born in South Africa, Elon Musk made over $160 million from the sale of online payment service PayPal to eBay. His desire to see humanity become a true outer space civilization was the driving factor behind the founding of SpaceX. But he has also been involved in founding various other companies such as electric car manufacturer Tesla. He also conceived a project called Hyperloop, a high-speed transportation system using pods that travel through a system of tubes. His colorful personality and lifestyle made him the inspiration for Robert Downey Jr.'s interpretation of Marvel Comics character Tony Stark. Musk is no stranger to controversy. His tweets have sparked lawsuits and seen him forced out as chairman of Tesla, although he remains as CEO. 4. Significance of launch. Since the retirement of the Space Shuttle in 2011, NASA has paid Russia tens of millions of dollars to launch its astronauts on Soyuz spacecraft. The launch of Crew Dragon from Florida marks the first human launch from U.S. territory in 9 years. As such, it is seen as crucial to restoring America's prestige in human spaceflight. It will also be the first time a private company has launched astronauts into orbit. 5. Crew Dragon. The Crew Dragon is the spacecraft that will transport astronauts to the ISS. It is a streamlined evolution of the Dragon spacecraft built to transport cargo to orbiting outposts. Crew Dragon is designed to carry a maximum of 7 passengers, but NASA's flight will carry 4, with the remaining space filled by supplies. The vehicle is equipped with thrusters that allow it to maneuver in space and will dock to the space station under autonomous control. Unlike previous spacecraft designed for humans, the crew cabin has touchscreen controls in place of physical buttons. 6. The astronauts and their mission plans. Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley are NASA astronauts. They were selected in 2000 and have each flown into space twice on the Space Shuttle. They are the most experienced members of NASA's astronaut corps and both trained as test pilots, who have been trained to put a new spacecraft through its paces. Hurley has spent a total of 28 days and 11 hours in space, while Behnken has accumulated a total of 29 days and 12 hours, including 37 hours of spacewalk time. Both are also married to astronauts. Spacecraft designed to carry astronauts must go through a process that ensures they can operate safely. This launch is essentially the final step in that validation process. Once in orbit, Behnken and Hurley will test Crew Dragon's environmental control systems. Displays and controls and maneuvering thrusters. They will monitor the autonomous docking system during the approach to the space station and will become members of the ISS crew. At the orbiting outpost, they will continue to conduct tests on Crew Dragon along with other tasks related to the space station. When it is time to return to Earth, the Dragon crew will descend into the Atlantic Ocean. The capsule and crew will then be recovered by a ship called Go Navigator. 7. New spacesuit. The flight suits Behnken and Hurley will wear in the capsule look very different from previous designs. In stark contrast to the bulky, pumpkin orange suits and round helmets familiar from the Space Shuttle era, SpaceX's suits are sleek, white, one-piece figures with neatly 3D printed helmets. Each one is custom-made for the astronaut. If they look like something out of a science fiction movie, that's probably because their appearance was designed by Hollywood costume designer Jose Fernandez, who has worked on Batman, X-Men and Thor movies. But the suits also had to be practical. They were designed to keep the crew alive in the event of cabin depression, where air is lost from the inside of the spacecraft. 8. Next mission. If the Crew Dragon Demo 2 mission is successful, SpaceX will continue with 6 operational missions to the ISS under a $2.6 billion contract with NASA. Boeing holds a similar deal, worth $4.2 billion to transport crews to the space station using the CST-100 Starliner vehicle.